the first Jewish, he was certainly the first Jewish boy in Hamilton that went into pharmacy.
No, Jack Borvoy was the first Jewish.
Was he a Hamiltonian?
Jack Borvoy. Mrs. Borvoy used to own a grocery store on James Street, right near Murray.
I thought he was
She was a widow. No, she was a widow. He married a girl from out of town. He married Bay Honigman from Toronto. And he came back here and he had a glacier partner, Finkelman and McLennan, and they opened. And I got through, I always did like pharmacy. I mean, it always seemed to have an
But I want to
attraction.
know something about school. Did you run into any problems in getting into school? Did other people run into problems in those days?
No, our greatest difficulty was that before you could go into school, you see, we had to serve a 3 years apprenticeship, you see, and to become an apprentice in a town that's completely Goyish, wasps, no matter where I went, they didn't want me. They didn't want a Jew, that's all. So they didn't say, I don't want a Jew, but they just said, I'm sorry, but we don't need an apprentice. And you had to have, it's like a lawyer becomes article before he can become a lawyer. We had to become apprentice. We had to put in a 3 years apprenticeship, and we had to have it signed by the preceptor that we had finished our 3 years and stuff before you get into school. But I was good at school anyway, so it didn't make any differences. I had real good marks, I got real good certificates, and finally at the end of about a year, I landed a job way down Main Street, East Main and Kenilworth, before that area even became built up. And that's how I got in as an apprentice when I finished my 3 years apprenticeship. So then I went to school. Although in Toronto, they had an awful lot more trouble getting in because there were already some Jewish druggists and they were already starting out with this expansion business. And some of the Jewish druggists that were there found out that the kids had to get into, they had to have an apprenticeship before they could go to school. Now you don't anymore, they've cut that off. So they used to charge you for apprenticing you. But I wasn't charged for being apprenticed. The only thing is that I worked for the holy sum of $8 a week, 12 hours a day, 6 days a week.
For 3 years.
For 3 years.
Boy, isn't that something. But that opened the way for you to go to university.
That opened the way for me to get into pharmacy. And once I got into pharmacy, so then when I got through, when I came out, so you'll notice that the apprentices that I had were Jack Levine, a Polish fellow by the name of Kosnick, who now works at Eaton's dispensary. Like, I looked for the ethnics when I got out, because I figured that they deserve a break. I know what a job I had getting apprenticed, you see. So naturally, if I look for apprentices, I look for the ethnic groups, regardless of who they are.